Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, for that wonderful introduction. I always tell myself, you are someone that one needs to have in their network. Well done for that, what you do, Hope. Thanks so much for being a bridge. And to my amazing host this evening, Dr. Ezine. Did I pronounce that right? Hello. Yes, thank you so much for putting this together. Thank you so much. And to the previous speaker, Dr. Okoye and Mr. Alex Iyanacho, thank you so much for that inspiring word. I'm honestly blown away. I've learned so much. In fact, I had my notes that I was just scribbling away. For our first speaker that was talking about parenting and stress, I doff my heart for you. We're on the same field. Well done for that which you do. And for Mr. Alex as well, honestly, I've learned so much about money and my perspective has actually changed. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you to each and every one of us. Congratulations, Dr. Izine, for the fifth edition of the Stress Management Summit. Indeed, it's a beautiful one because when we look at life generally today, there are stress everywhere. It has actually kind of been part of our daily life, but it doesn't have to be so. So this evening, by the grace of God, the topic that I've been giving to have conversation, not to speak with us, I'm picking this up from Dr. Okoye. We're not speaking to each other. We're not speaking with each other, but we're having a conversation. And I tell you, there's nothing that you've heard before there's nothing that you're going to hear this evening that it's new. We're just going to remind ourselves of some basic things. So the topic I've been given to have the conversation on is keeping love sweet, even when stressful ground. By the way, my name is Eniola Oke, as has been said, and I am a parenting coach. You see, one thing about life for me, I love family. I get my energy when I'm being asked to come and talk about anything parenting, anything about family, because family is a unit in which the whole world kind of thrive. So I believe that when we have a good family, when we have a good marriage, it actually thrives. It provided a very thriving ground, even for where children will grow. So this evening, as I said, the topic is keeping love sweet even when stressful ground. Every couple will face pressure, yes or no. Do you agree with me? As a matter of fact, not even every couple, every individual, even our children, no matter how young they are faced with one pressure or the other. Either peer pressure, either friendship, either work, either college. So it is not only us as fathers and mothers that we are facing pressure, that we are living a stressful life. Every human being, every individual, one way or the other, we are faced with one stress or the other. So I have a particular Bible verse that I'm so passionate about. Anytime I have an opportunity to speak in any gathering, talking about family, talking about parenting, I always want to relate this particular memory verse. By the grace of God, I'm a Christian. By the grace of God, so that is Malachi 2:15. What does he say? He says, "Did he not make them one? And why one? Because it was seeking godly offspring." I'm going to the later part, which was talking about seeking godly offspring. Yes, I'm not preaching, it is not a sermon, but I want to lay a biblical foundation for what family is. Because mind you, we're talking about stress and how stress is affecting parents, how stress is affecting family. So he has, he created a man and a woman to come together for their union because he was seeking godly offspring. He was not seeking a beautiful child, not an handsome child, but a godly offspring, children that fear the Lord, children that honors the Lord. And how can this be possible? It is possible only if we can find a way to control our stress in such a way that it will not impact on the children that we have brought into this world. I said we brought them into this world. They didn't ask us to bring them. We brought them, and we should have a responsibility to take care of them amicably and to ensure that they thrive appropriately. So thriving marriages create the nurturing ground for godly old children, as I explained earlier on. Sorry, can you move the slide to the next slide, please? So the first thing that we're going to do, I'm started with the introduction part. Yes. So I will be looking at the understanding the stressful ground. What are the things that we are stressful about? What are the things that are causing us stress? The first one is financial pressure. It was a beautiful session that we had with Mr. Alex there, talking to us about money, how we can actually may use money as a tool, how we don't have to enslave ourselves with money. It was a beautiful session. But when we look at it critically these days, generally speaking, we are financially, most people are financially stressed. And this stress, we're actually getting it even in our relationship. It's impacting on our connecting with our children, even connecting with each other as spouses. And one thing I always tell myself, for the mere fact that we are adults in our own right, for the mere fact that we pay the bills, for the mere fact that we pay the mortgage or whatever finances that we are going through, does not mean that our children are not going through one thing or the other. We need to respect and we need to ensure that no matter what financial pressure that we are going through, we need to ensure in control it appropriately so that it will not affect our parenting, it will not affect our relationship with our children. So financial pressure is one of the things, but it was a beautiful session that we had with Mr. Alex. He has been able to actually delve into some matters that we need to be conscious of so that we'll be able to live a financial stress-free life. Another thing is parenting demand. There's huge parenting demand. Yes, parenting does not stop. Either you have toddlers, either you have teenagers, either you have young adults. There's always one thing about parenting. I remember people will always tell me, Eniola, congratulations, you have all your children grown up because by the grace of God, my daughter is 30, I have 30 years old, I have 27 and I have 22. They always tell me, do you know what? You are so lucky because you don't have to go through that stress. But I always tell them, parenting comes with different challenges at every stage. I don't know what stage you are in your parenting journey, or maybe you have not even started. But one thing I want you to be sure of, there will always be a demand on your parenting. Parenting is a journey, it is not a destination. But as long as you put your hands in the hands of God, the one that has called you to kind of entrust the children into your hand is more than capable, even to see you through no matter what parenting situation that you are passing through. So there's always stress about parenting. You are leaning into your children, they are leaning away. There's so much demand on parenting, but we do not need to allow it to stress us out. It's all about how do we manage it? How do we relate with our spouses? How do we relate with our spouses? Even talking about our parenting pattern, about our parenting style. Even how do we relate with the children that we are parenting? How do we learn from our children? Because I always tell myself, my children will be one of my greatest assets. They will actually be one of the greatest people that I learn from. I learn from them in a big way. So we don't have to struggle in our parenting alone. We need to link in with our children. Let's learn from them. Let's have feedback on how we are doing. We don't have to suffer in silence. And another stress that I want to quickly talk about is career and life transition. Each and every one of us, either you are a career mom, either you're a sit-at-home mom, because I really don't say anybody, I don't say because people are sitting at home, they're not working. I tell you honestly, one of the greatest job and rewarding job is to sit at home and parent and rear your children. Yes, you might be thinking I'm not getting cash flow from it, but you see, it is an investment that you are making that is coming back to you in the future. So either you are a career mom or either you are a mother that at least you are working and you're also, you are parenting and you are still, you have your secular job. There's always one stress or the other. Stress from our secular job is there. Is it challenges that you face in the course of your work, maybe your colleagues, or even the stress of the job itself? Yes, they are there, but we do not have to allow them to weigh us down. Another thing is life transition. Mind you, as we grow older, as our children are growing, as we are also growing, hormonal changes are there for each and every one of us. There's something that they call menopause, even when, talking about women. At a particular point in our life, we'll reach a particular time that you see there is menopause and we begin to react to hormones. We can be cranky, it comes with different things. It's really, really important to carry your family member along, whatever that you are going. It's all about communication. When you have a good connection, you're able to communicate with each other. So when you are going through your hormonal changes, let them know, carry them along. It's really, really important because if that is not done properly and in a very good way, it could stress you out and it could actually stress the children. Stress the children as well. Then another stressful thing that I quickly want to mention is the loss illness, or extended family issues. No matter what it is, no one is in isolation. You have your family members, either nuclear or extended member, and one way or the other, there will always be need from each and every one of these people. How do you balance it? How do you manage it in such a way that you don't let the demand from the extended family or from the nuclear family, how do you manage it that it doesn't weigh you down, it doesn't bog you down, and it's not affecting you? So as I have identified the common stressors, which number one was financial pressure, parenting demand, career and life transition, loss, illness, or extended family issues, the emotional baggage or past one. There are people that they've carried so much trauma. Sometimes people would say, oh, I'm not parented like that. But you see, sometimes when we are relating and be telling ourselves that I want to parent my children the way I've been parented. I was beaten, I was giving this, I was giving that. Are you saying that out of pain, or are you saying it out of emotional scar? Many of us were parented in such a way that we're not happy about. And honestly speaking, I'm not blaming any of our parents. That is the best way that they could do. But one thing is sure, what is the emotional baggage, or what is the past wound that you have carried that is impacting on your present day, that is impacting on you as human being, that is impacting on your marriage and impacting on your parenting? You have to deal with it. You have to talk to somebody a professional that can actually help you. If not, it's going to weigh you down. And what are the effects on connection? What are the effects of this stressor? Can you move to the next slide, please, Ezine? Thank you so much. So one of the effects is miscommunication or silence. When you are going through all this stress or some of the identified stressors that I mentioned, it could affect you emotionally. You can become distant even to your relative. You can become distant to your spouse, even to your children as well. And when there is no emotional connection, there's no way you can forge as a family. It's going to impact on your relationship. Then there's also increased conflict or irritability. When you have all these stressors, you become very irritable. When your children comes, even when they want to tell you something, you kind of push them away because of the stress, either stress from work, stress from finances, from emotional baggage. And that is why it is really, really important, because when we look at the effect on our connection, when we look at the effect of this stress on us personally, it is not a good thing. And that is why it has to be managed appropriately. Then you are not alone. That is one thing that I quickly want to establish here. Pressure is part of life, but how we handle it as a couple determines the fruit of our of it determines what fruit our marriage bears. You are not alone. I want us to get that clearly. No matter what pressure that you are going through at this stage of your life, either with your teenage children, either with your toddler, either with your young adult, you are not alone. Pressure is part of life, but how do we handle it? That is what determines the marriage that it bears. Number one, talking about how we manage it. I want us to remember that your marriage is not just about you. Your marriage is not just about you, it is a ministry and a legacy. Marriage is something that God has ordained. God has not ordained marriage to stress us out. How do you relate with your spouses? How do you settle conflict? How do you manage? How do you handle conflict in your marriage that it doesn't impact on your relationship, that it doesn't affect you and your spouse in a negative way, that doesn't impact on the children that you are bringing up? How do we manage that? God has a purpose for your union beyond comfort. There is a purpose for a man and a woman coming together. There's a reason for that. It is not an accident. So I want to encourage each and every one of us this evening, no matter what pressure that you are going through in your marriage or in your parenting, know that there's a purpose. No matter what the situation is, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Another thing that I quickly want to let us know, marriage is a covenant. It is not a contract. Yes, we signed our names out on your wedding day, on your marriage day. You sign a document, you sign the register, but it is not as if you are signing it as a contract. It is a covenant that must not be broken. And I want to believe that each and every one of us, I want to believe that most of us that we are here on this platform, this we are Christian and we know what covenant is all about. A covenant is something that you agree with both of yourself, either for better or for worse. That is what marriage is all about. And when you see marriage as a covenant, you will realize that love is rooted in covenant. You will see stress as a shared battle. When you see marriage as a covenant, you will see that stress is a shared battle. It's a common battle that is facing you, the two of you in that relationship. It's not a personal trait. And that is why it's really, really important. Come together. Join your forces together. to attack this particular issue that is facing you. Do not see it as a threat against your marriage or to bring you separate. We are on the same team, fighting the same enemy, not each other. When couple begins to see themselves that they are fighting a common enemy, which is stress, life becomes better. Do not take it personal. No matter what stress that you are going through, be open about it. Have a conversation, discuss with each other, and you begin to see changes in your relationship. Another thing that I want to quickly say about the mindset regarding marriage, it's an unconditional love as a bedrock. And there's grace, patience, and forgiveness as practical ways to stay emotionally safe. For you to stay emotionally safe in your marriage, in your relationship, you need to have the act of forgiveness. Yes, we offend each other. There will be challenges, there will be issues of life, but it is important to be able to forgive each other as a practical ways to stay emotionally stay safe with each other. Now, the practical strategies for connection. How do you connect? How do you connect? Yes, there's stress all over. It's part of life. It's part of our daily life. But how do you stay connected that you don't allow this stress to kind of draw you apart? The first thing that I quickly want to talk about is daily micro connection. You can give 5 minutes at check daily. How are you really doing today? It doesn't cost you anything. Asking your spouse, how are you doing today? How is everything? Check in with yourself. Have a conversation. Relate with each other. Because if you are living issues not unresolved, it's going to actually bring a crack in your relationship. And when there's a crack, things begin to fall apart. But when you fall into the habit of having a 5 minute heart check on a daily basis, it goes a long way. Have a conversation. Check in with yourself. When your spouse or your children, they are even behaving out of order, it's important for you to check in with them. Is everything okay with you? I always tell myself, I don't know about Nigeria or any other part of the world. Even if the police wants to arrest you in this country, they will still ask you, is everything okay with you? They will confirm that you are okay. So it doesn't really take anything out of us to confirm with our spouses, is everything okay? Even when they are behaving out of character, it could be as a result of stress or anything. Check in with them. Is everything okay? It doesn't take anything out of you. Then all kind words and small gestures of affection. This is talking about love languages. It goes a long way, to have a physical touch. Yes, it might not be everybody that really likes touch as one of their love languages. But for people that would appreciate maybe physical touch, maybe like giving yourself a hug, like touching, holding hands, emotional affirmation, it releases oxytocin and reduces stress. It's really, really important to be able to speak kind words to each other. Speak kind words to yourself. Have a hug. Touch each other. Affirm each other. Speak positive about each other. And when there are challenges, have an open conversation. It's really, really important. Then another thing that I want to talk about is schedule time for intimacy. In 24 hours in a day, it's important for couples to be able to know and arrange within themselves, even if it is 30 minutes in a day, or possibly maybe 1 hour, maybe a day in the week. Let us fall into the habit of making time available for ourselves. I always tell myself as a parenting coach, for every child, love is spelled as time that you spent with them. Likewise, let us make it applicable. For each and every one of us, for our spouses, let's spend quality time together. The time that you spend together, money cannot buy that time. Yes, I know we're in a busy world. I know we need to make money. But even in the midst of making that money, it's important that we have a heartfelt connection with each other. So that it is in the course of us connecting with each other, it's in the course of having intimacy with each other that we can actually live a good life and be able to resolve challenges and issues that we think we might be going through. Let's make physical and emotional closeness a priority, even when tired or busy. No matter how busy or tired you are, with respect to stress, it is important for us to prioritize our quality time with your spouse. And also, let there be rituals. What do you do together, maybe at weekends or maybe public holiday, or even, it doesn't even have to be public holiday. Take a time. It could be a Friday night. It could be a Sunday evening. Ensure that you do a common thing together, either with yourself and your spouse or with the family as a whole. When you come together to do this thing, you are creating memories. And when memories are created, they cannot be bought with money. When you have memories, nothing can take that away. I always ask myself, and I tell people that I'm privileged to work work with. When your children leaves home, what memory would they have in mind? What would they remember the home front for? Or are your children just eager to get out of home once they are 18? It's important to create memorable time, and we have to be intentional in doing this. Yes, I know we are very busy. It's out of the busy that we are being stressed, but it's important for us to be able to connect with each other and prioritize quality time with ourselves and be very intentional about it. So now, how do we manage stress? How do we manage stress? The next slide, please. How do we manage stress as a team, as husband and wife, as a family? Let's discuss openly what is weighing you down right now. Check in with your spouse, check in with your kids. What exactly are you going through? Have a one-to-one conversation. Give yourself time, quality time to have a conversation or whatever they are going through, and be very open about it. Don't hold anything back. And another thing is divide responsibility intentionally. It's very, very important for us as spouse. Generally speaking, maybe it is stereotype when people will say a place for woman is in the kitchen. Gone are those days. I am not a feminist. I'm a very real person. A husband and a wife, there's nothing too bad. It's not too bad for you coming together, assign responsibility, delegate responsibility to each other so that one person is not too overburdened, overstressed with household chores or even work outside home. Carry each other along with whatever you are doing and ensure that you divide them equally and according to your capacity as well. Then another thing, problem solved together. Come together no matter what the situation that you are going through. Bring them to the table, solve them together. What are the things that you need to talk to each other about? Your budgeting. Miss Alex was just talking to us about money matter. How do you budget as couple? How do you budget as a family? Then talking about parenting. Dr. Okoye was talking to us previously about parenting. What is your parenting plan? Do you carry each other along? By the time you fall into the habit of doing this thing, you can actually see that you are stressing yourself out rather than carrying on stress along the journey. It's really, really important for us. Let's discuss openly, let's divide responsibility and be very intentional about it, and let's solve problems together. Then conflict with compassion. What do I mean by that? Instead of using the blame language, it's important to take responsibility. The use of I feel like rather than you always. By the time you are kind of talking to your spouse and telling them the way they made you feel, oh, you make me feel bad. That is very, very challenging. But when you say I feel, this is the way I feel about what you've done for me. It's all about reframing our language. Our language. It's reframing about the way we deliver what we needed to do. Yes, we might be going through stress, but we need to be very kind and compassionate with each other in the way we talk and the way we deliver our speeches. Then let's take break during heated moment, but commit to return. What is the system that you have in place when there are conflicts in your home? When there are conflicts within your relationship, there must be a system in place. Your system might be maybe when it is getting too hot, you need to just walk out. And you say for you to be able to agree that I want to kind of step out, it's important to make it a system so that your spouse will not be thinking, oh, I'm talking and you are walking out on me. Because if care is not taken, in the course of you trying to de-escalate the situation, it might be taken for another thing. So if in your own family the system is when we're having an heated argument, I will just excuse myself, carry each other along and let it be known that this is a plan, this is a system in place. So you need to agree on a particular system on how to deal with conflict when they arise. Then forgive quickly and do not hold grudges. Once your spouse or your child say, I'm sorry for what I have done, let that sorry be taken and don't let us refer to the old past or the old one so that we can move on, so that we don't get ourselves worked up unnecessary. Then pray together even after disagreement. And somebody might begin to ask me, how is it possible to pray together after a disagreement? As children of God, we are children of light. Even in the Bible says we should not allow the sun to set even when we are hungry. And that's why it's really, really important. Whatever we are going through, let us make God the cornerstone, Jesus Christ, the cornerstone of our home. Pray together. It will give you direction. He said, the things that you do not know, I will show unto you. Call upon me, I will answer you. No matter what the disagreement, no matter what the challenges are, carry it to God in prayer, agree together, and you begin to see the answer of God and you begin to heal. Then number 5, guiding marriage atmosphere. Number 5 slide, please. It's important for us to protect our home from every negativity. Slide 5, please. Protect your home from negativity, toxic media, unresolved tension. You know, there are so many different information on the social media. If you are not careful, you'll be blown away. I mean, when Miss Alex was talking, he was saying something about people having bad dream. It's whatever that you listen to maybe before you go to bed and begin to kind of manifest in your sleep. What are the things that you can see that are toxic in your that could actually lead to toxic that could make you feel toxic in your relationship? Is it the social media? Is it what people are saying outside? It's really, really important for us. Do not make yourself exposed to any form of toxic negativity, and ensure that tensions are well resolved, and do not allow it to, to sleep over whatever issue that you are going through. Then speak life over your spouse. There is power in our tongue. There is power of word in our tongue. Whatever we say, we have the right thing to decree a thing until it shall come to pass. Speak life over your spouse. Make affirmation, appreciate them, and give them encouragement as well. Even if they are not doing well, even if they are not performing to your expectation, you can still be very kind in your word. Affirm them, appreciate them, and encourage them, and you begin to see the changes. Then let us keep Christ as the center. Jesus Christ is the glue when pressure tries to pull you apart. And I say that carefully. Pressures are there, they are part of life. But when this happens, let us ensure that we make the Lord Jesus Christ as the center in our home, so that when pressure tries to pull you apart, it is the glue that holds you together. It's really, really important. Then love that builds generation. Initially when I at the start of this conversation, I mentioned that our marriage is a ministry, and is also a legacy. Looking at it as a legacy, what your children see in your love becomes their definition of love. What your children see in your love, it becomes the definition of your love. The way you relate with each other as husband and wife, as mommy and daddy, we are role models to our children. How did they see us resolving conflict? How did they see us relating with ourselves? How did they see us even supporting each other in the house chores? Or do they see mommy and daddy arguing, shouting and screaming at each other? How did they see you supporting each other in everything that you do? We are leaving legacy for them. We are the product, we are we would be the mirror that they look at. What are they seeing in you? When they look at your relationship between their dad and their mom, between dad and mom, would they desire the kind of marriage and relationship that you have? Begin to ask yourself that question. Then your response to pressure becomes their template for resilience. The way you react to pressure, your children will follow suit. So it's really, really important. Legacy is built not in his, but in how we love under pressure. How do you love under pressure? How do you deal with pressure? How do you deal with stress? God of heaven will help us in Jesus' name. And in closing, don't wait for the stress to stop. Choose to keep love sweet in the midst of it. Encourage yourself. And as long as you keep on encouraging yourself, you are communicating. Communication is key. When you are communicating, when you stay connected, communication will flow easily. Honestly, I always tell myself, when we are looking at love, 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 it's all about understanding and the way we relate with each other. There is more to loving each other when we understand each other better. So for us to be able to kind of live calm, even in the presence of stress, it's really, really important for us to have a deep understanding of each other and be very intentional in our relationship. Thank you very much. Yeah. Amen. You can actually struggle. You might be thinking that, okay, we are stressed. How is it possible for me to hug or to stress? It's all about understanding, because what will it cost you? It's rather said than done. I know we are really, really stressed. I know life is a pressure. But honestly speaking, we need to begin to differentiate. Who am I? Define yourself. Separate the pressure. Separate the stress from who you are. And separate that from your spouse as well. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 And I think that is where it's cool. I was saying something about have a system in place in your marriage. What are your values? I don't want to go into the value because I know the previous speaker spoke about it. But I want to quickly emphasize on system. Put a system in place in your marriage, in your home. For everything to actually go smooth free, there must be a system in place. And what do I mean by system in place? It's just like me. I always tell my children anytime I come in and I just say, do you know what? I've had a very terrible day at work today. If you see me withdrawing or if you see me being cranky, it's not you. It's just because of what I've gone through at work. Yes, it's important for us to be able to name that. It's all about communication. And as a matter of fact, ideally speaking, you are not supposed to bring the stress from work into the house. But we are all human. Sometimes it is actually very, very difficult for you to drop it in your car or for you to drop it in the office. Sometimes you kind of unconsciously bring it home. But when you have a system in place by carrying each other along, putting a communication system in place, that do you know what? If you see me behaving in a very, very funny way, or if you see me withdrawing, actually, this is what I'm going through, but just give me time. It's all about carrying each other along. It's all about communication, having conversation about all these things. I don't know whether I'm able to kind of expatiate or explain that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just that is why it's really important for you to have that place of confirmation. Check with your spouse. If you say that your spouse is behaving out of character, just checking is everything okay. Checking. This is part of the system that you have to agree as a family that, you know what, if I see you behaving like this, if I see you doing like this, just checking, put a system in place and what to say and what to do at that particular time. So if you're behaving out of character, is everything okay? I mean, there's really body in their right frame of mind that no matter how stressed you are, and somebody is coming and say, oh, Eniola, how are you? Is everything okay? I notice that you are just behaving, you are very cold, or maybe you are not too excited. Is everything okay? Rather than making conversation in your head and saying she has started again, am I the only one? Is this, most times we are very judgmental. We jump into conclusion by making conversation in our head, particularly for us women. And I'm not being biased here. When something happens, we are quick to jump into conclusion. Oh, what have I done again? You don't even know, maybe when she's driving or when he's driving, or maybe somebody hit him or her. They can, maybe something happen and was trying to deal with that. But as soon as you are opening the door, as soon as he or she is opening the door, the first thing is, oh, you've come again. What is your problem? Oh, and sometimes even for us women, it has happened to me before. I'm a living testimony. There was a particular time in my life when I am coming in, the first thing I'm saying to my children is, oh, why was the light left on? Why were the dishes not being done? I tell you, it's not because of what they have done, it's because of the stress that I'm carrying from work that I'm trying to kind of relate on them, which is not fair on these younger ones. They were looking for a mother that has left home for the last maybe 5 or 8 hours. They wanted a warm hug, they wanted a word of affirmation, but look at the mom coming just shouting and screaming and complaining because I was stressed. I'm stressed coming from work. At the end of the day, what kind of atmosphere am I creating in that family? Is it an atmosphere for them to thrive? or to injure their self-esteem. Children that are so excited, mommy and daddy, they've gone to work, they are back home, let's hug them, let's have a good time. But because of my body language, because of the stress that I'm carrying in, I shut their emotion down. The way I have my own emotion, the way I'm going through stress, they are going through stress as well. For the mere fact that I'm paying the bills does not mean I don't have to respect their feeling as well. I need to respect them, carry them along, tell them what I'm going through. I mean, they are not too young. Our children are not too young. Our spouses, they are not too distant from us that we cannot carry each other along and be open with whatever we are going through. It's all about communication. How do you manage communication and conversation in your relationship? Thank you so much. All right. Yeah, my name is Eniola Oke, as you have seen, and my Instagram handle is Oke Eniola Ariola. That is Okeniola Arinola Arinola. Oke Eniola Ariola on Instagram. Yeah, and my WhatsApp number is 00353 00353 804 5774. You can reach me on WhatsApp through that number. Okay, do you want me to go over it again? 00353 86 804 5774. I Yeah, 5774. Yeah, yeah. Did you get it or do you want me to go over it again? Okay. Okay. When you are stressed, you might be driving, you might want to brake and you just accelerate. 00353 86 804 5774. You're welcome. Thank you.